Hey guys, welcome to another fun-filled edition of the ChillOutZone with myself, your host, Alex. Today, I'm so happy because alongside me, I have my co-host.
Hi guys, my name's Sohwaina, and as he said, I'm his co-host. I know I wasn't here for our launch episode, but I saw it looked amazing. So I'm looking forward to being here for many more episodes.
On today's episode, we're going to be frying some dumplings. I know you guys like your dumplings. We're going to be making some Guinness Punch. We're going to have a guest on later, and we're going to have some discussions that may get a bit heated. Maybe not, but it's definitely going to cause people to talk. And
as we are a family affair, we'd love for you to take part. So if you could follow our social media handles at the bottom of the screen and give us your opinions on our debate topics. We'd love to hear them. Hello and welcome back, beautiful people. I believe our host Alex is now ready to start making these legendary dumplings of his.
You know, I'm the dumpling king, right? I'm the dumpling king. So guys, before you start your cooking, you always have to wash your hands. So break the plates and meat, wash those. Yeah, so the ingredients we'll be using is self-raising flour, milk, water, salt, and sugar. That's it. Very, 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 very simple. So to start, I will put in my flour.
This recipe seems so simple for the outcome, but trust me people. These dumplings do not survive at parties.
My dumplings are really, really legendary, you know. Legendary. Now, you have to excuse me, because I don't do the measuring thing, you know. I just sprinkle to when the ancestors say, oh, I ate that. You know what, because I'm so used to making dumplings on a big scale, yeah? It's kind of mad trying to make them small, but you know? Yeah, so I'll mix up the flour, Gonna put some sugar in there, yeah? Gonna mix the sugar into the flour. And you know what? I know bare people's gonna watch this, you know. I know lots of people are gonna watch this, like, yo.
As I said, Joshua will be definitely tuning in for this one.
Don't give me a joke. Put some salt in there. Because you have to balance the thing, you see it? You have to balance the thing, yo. So I put some salt in there. My ways, it's very unconventional, but it works. It really does work. So I'll mix up that salt there in the flour, yeah? Alright, so mix that flour. You see this milk here? I'm gonna put some milk in there. This one makes them fluffy. Yeah. Add some of this water. And you have to forgive me here because, like I said before, everything is by eye, man. I don't do the measuring thing. Mix up that. You're probably thinking, why is he using a spoon though? I soon use my hand, get me? I just mix up that first. And then, good to go, you get me? Look a bit of flour to balance it.
Some of the parties where these guys are missing.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been at parties where I've not actually managed to get a dumpling because
Dumplings are mad.
I'm away for the next day.
Dumplings are mad.
That's how good they are, people.
Yeah, you see the way I'm doing it, yeah? I'm just knead it, yeah, make sure I knead. You know what's crazy, you know? Let me tell you one story real quick. When my niece was about 4, yeah, my younger sister asked me to make some dumplings. So I'm in the kitchen making a dumpling, yeah? And one of the dumplings popped, like proper popped. It was like a fucking earthquake went off in the house, yeah? Excuse my language. It was like an earthquake went off in the house. My whole half of my face was burnt with oil. My arm was burnt. It was a madness. I didn't make a dumpling for about 2 years. But my back better than ever. You see it?
I actually remember that. I didn't realize it was dumpling.
It was a dumpling. Everyone. I know people must have been thinking, yeah, something else. He's working with that George.
I'm just done.
Do you understand?
Oh dear.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just putting the self-raising flour on top like that, just to balance out the wetness. So yeah, that's Alex makes these famous dumplings, yo. Wanna make a dumplings and tell me how it came out, innit? Use my method.
Simple as the best. It's simple.
Quick things.
Let me teach you.
So guys, we're back. I've been kneading this mixture here for like 15 to 20 minutes. To get the best results, I'd advise on covering over and maybe leaving it 25, 30, 35 minutes. That will give it that extra fluffiness that is needed. How do you do yours, Wayne?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I'll break it off in a nice circular shape.
Yeah, make sure the oil is hot.
Yeah. I see you wearing the kente today, Alex.
Yeah, man, you know I love it. Come on.
Looking good.
You know, I love the kente thing, man. The Ghanaian thing.
In Ghana.
The Jamaican flag comes from the kente colours. Yeah? Little history lesson there for you. Aki is grown in Ghana, but they don't touch it. And the Jamaicans, that's their national. Let me show you what I'm doing. Like, so even after I've kneaded, when I pick my piece off now, I just keep kneading it, you know. Then I put it in the middle of my hand like so. You just turn it. Same way. Drop that in there. You wanna do one with me now?
Wash my hand.
Wash them now? Serena's a bad cook as well, you know. Somebody, I'm gonna get her.
Sometimes we'll come, I'm sure.
How do you do your mixture?
So as I said earlier, it's like a mixture of plain and so I'm from Montserrat originally, Guyana, Montserrat.
Mm-hmm.
So I would make a baked more than a fried dumpling.
What do you prefer?
I like them both.
Yeah.
I like them both.
Okay.
Nothing like a bit of fried dumpling.
Okay.
But, and I do use sugar in mine.
Okay.
As I said, I use plain and self-raising.
Do you use salt in yours?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So guys, the dumplings are frying, and just gonna turn them over. You might find that they turn themselves, as you can see, as I'm talking, the dumplings turn itself over. So you might find that some of them do turn themselves over, and some of the other ones you might just need to give them a little bit of a hand. So I'm just gonna help these ones over. I might oil that, but with my dumplings, the oil, like the dumpling has to go inside the oil. Like, it's not a fritter, guys. It's not a fritter. It's a dumpling. You understand? Anyway, you can see them dumplings there are looking fluffy and juicy and yo, king of the dumplings. King of the dumplings, yo. Guys, see the dumplings? You see the dumplings? Talk to me nice and our dumpling king. Anyway, let's get straight to it. Gonna be making the Guinness punch. So, I've got 2 Guinness here.
I'm gonna have my dumpling.
Yeah, eat the dumpling now.
I did, I've been waiting.
Pour in the Guinness punch now. I'm gonna pour in the Guinness. What's the dumpling saying?
On point. Being punching outside.
She's biased, she's biased.
But yeah, I'm enjoying my. What can I say?
Got the next Guinness there. Nourishment. Some will use nutriment.
Nourishment.
Gotta be vanilla flavour, yeah? Got to be vanilla flavour. Pour that in there. And just mix that. Just gonna mix that. And when you're making your Guinness punch here, do not put it in a metal bowl because the iron will react with the Guinness and it won't taste nice.
Good tips.
Yeah. So just mixing that. I might put a little bit more nourishment in there. Okay, just hold this for me. Thank you. Shade it up, beat it up. Yep. Sohwaina, do you make Guinness punch?
I do. I'm pretty much the same as you make yours, to be honest.
Yeah, same ingredients.
Ingredients look correct to me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add a little bit more of this. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, thank you. Gonna add some cinnamon. You know, you gotta add your cinnamon to the. And I'm sorry, like I said before, I don't really measure, but you know. Some cinnamon. Gonna add some nutmeg, or as the Jamaicans will call it, nutmeg. Nutmeg, and I'll put some nutmeg. Mix that.
For demonstration purposes.
Do you understand? Right. You know what? I might add a a little bit more nourishment to that, you know. I could put this through a sieve as well. Then I'm gonna put some condensed milk. What was that? What was that?
Sweetness and thickness.
What was that? They told me to stop. Alright. Okay, I'm just putting in a little bit of vanilla essence.
Sometimes when I'm doing Guinness Punch, if I'm being a little bit annoyed, I might put a splash of rain in that.
Serious. That sounds right up my alley. That does. If I had it in the blender, it would have blended a long time ago.
True.
Because the more I'm mixing this, the more it's blending in. Oh yeah. Boy. Why?
That's the sound you're looking.
The thing set off.
It's a way.
Alright guys, so Guinness Punch is done. We'll be right back. So guys, we're back and I have a very special guest here. His name is Prince Arnold. Last year I featured on his show, so I'll let him tell you about himself.
Hi guys, my name is Prince Arnold. I'm a lawyer and also I have a YouTube channel, The Prince Talk Show, so make sure you check it out.
Yeah.
And also I used to do modeling, acting, being in entertainment for a while, so I'm really, really happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. We're happy to have you.
Thank you for coming. Are you liking the Guinness Punch?
Yeah, it's actually nice.
Have you had one of the dumplings?
I tried the dumplings, it's amazing.
What's your background?
Cameroon.
Cameroon, so what's the equivalent of a dumpling?
We do have puff puff.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, what do you call it though?
It's puff puff.
They call it pop as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so tu parles français aussi?
Bien sûr, je parle
Okay,
français.
cool.
And I feel left out because my Francais is petit.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna torture you.
That was good. I like that.
So
Yeah, so, okay. Lawyer. What type of lawyer are you?
I'm into family law at the moment.
Okay,
So basically, with the ones parents don't like.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So if a child is at risk of harm, that's maybe is being abused, physical, emotional, neglect, sexual.
Yeah.
So we bring proceedings against the parents or guardians or whoever is involved.
Serious.
How long did it take to qualify? How long was it? The whole process?
Well, it's still a journey. I'm not there yet, but it's a journey. It's a thing of like I had to study uni and getting training 3 years at uni, which was really interesting and sometimes really difficult.
Yeah.
But it's a very lucrative profession, which I'm still trying to get there.
Okay, no, so very, very interesting, very serious.
So how was your weekend? What was you up to over the weekend?
Well, you know me, lawyer by day, party animal by night.
Sounds about right.
Sounds like Ali.
So I just had a few parties at my friends since it was the Queen's Jubilee, so everything's happening. Pre-COVID, people didn't go out,
That's
so
right.
now that everything is getting back together, so a lot of parties happening. So I literally went to a Bashman party, I went to an Afrobeat party, and one for my friend's birthday as well.
How did you feel about marking the Queen's Jubilee? Like, were you celebrating that, or were you just celebrating because it was time, a reason to party?
70 years on the throne.
Yeah.
70 years on the throne, longest reigning monarch. Yeah.
I think, for me, like, I really like, I like the Queen, like, what's, like, her duty, what she represents. So, but for me, it's not celebrating, like, a huge fan. It's just, like, I had a day off work, and just time to party.
How do you feel about it? Because you already know my views. How do you feel about it?
I feel that, fair enough, 70 years is nothing to, sniff about. It's a serious period of time, longest reigning monarch in the UK, so it definitely should be marked. I'm not a royalist, I'm not particularly interested in the royal family, but all that being said, in the current climate that we're living in, with all the rising fuel costs and stuff like that, and people really going through it, that it was an opportunity to market in a different way. And I feel like if you were going to do the one, then you should have also done the other.
I just think at this particular time, in this climate that we're in, taxes are rising, gas bills rising, electricity, everything is rising, and they get their money from taxpayers. So the fact that they're having a party out of taxpayers' money and everybody's in some dire straits right now, it's ridiculous.
So what would you expect them to do in terms of like the Jubilee?
Don't celebrate that, man. That's me.
I don't say straight don't celebrate. I don't say don't celebrate. I expect them to market. It's one of the biggest tourism, which means income into this country, is the royal family.
It's not. When we get into the statistics, the royal families in the top 10, but it's probably like 7 or 8 in terms of tourist attractions in the UK.
So you're saying statistically
it's not what people
think it is.
Exactly. Like everyone will say, okay, the monarchy brings in the most money to the UK. No, I don't.
Well, it doesn't. For me, I don't think that's the most, but
it's a significant amount.
Of course, because it's a monarchy. And the monarchy is a story.
So in that significant amount, she's managed to do that for 70 years. Is the point I'm making. That's a lot of money brought into the UK. So I don't think it's wrong for them to market. I feel like a queen of today, that's why people are asking, is the monarchy relevant today? A queen of today would say, okay, this is the state of my nation. I need to do something in marking my coronation. I need to do something for my nation.
You know what? Let me be devil's advocate and flip it, They might look at it like this is the celebration from austerity, if that makes sense. It's like we've come out of this thing, let's celebrate everybody by doing the Jubilee.
I don't think so.
They're plunged into more austere times for celebration.
I'm playing
I don't think so. Well, the thing about it is like, obviously a lot of people have the questions about the relevance of the monarchy and things like that in society, but at the same time, a lot of people that are talking about preserving the cultures and stuff like that. That is a British culture. You might go, let's say, for example, in the Caribbean or in Africa or in Asia and things like that, and people want to preserve their culture, they want to preserve those things. That is the way of preserving it. But even though they do get like a lot of like kind of money and statues and things like that, they do bring money as well. And it is actually a huge thing to actually be in that position, just trying to serve your country.
The thing is, I'm not saying
things that you can do, things the way you need to act, the way you need to behave, the things that you need to conform with. It's like a lot as well for a person. So I respect that what she's doing or what she took the opportunity. What she represents. If I agree with whatever is happening about the monarchy, I don't. I respect that human being, individual
has been there for so long,
and the sacrifice that she made for that period of time. And I can agree. I feel like I have a similar outlook to it. I don't necessarily agree with their presence still in this place, but on an individual level, the Queen, what she sacrificed, as you said, what her life represents, I can respect that. I can respect that you've lived that, and I couldn't imagine what that must be like for 70 odd years.
Yeah.
You know?
Imagine at a very young age.
Yeah.
Just giving so much responsibility.
Their story is kind of,
Yeah.
it's a tricky one because it's like her uncle
abdicated, that's right.
Then her
And then
dad gets it,
yeah.
so she wasn't even really
She wouldn't
supposed
have
to
been
be
in the
queen.
line if it wasn't for the abdication.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting story, and the fact that she wasn't supposed to have been in that line to be queen, and she has been that queen
For
the
that
longest.
long. For that long. Yeah.
Yeah, so she has to have a little bit of respect
Yeah.
there. But
Yeah.
at the same time, the only queen that I celebrate is my mom, my sisters, and my female.
Hello.
Yeah, well done. You as you should.
Yeah. No, actually, I can agree. Like, but I'll say again, I do feel like somebody for the times, somebody for the people in the times, which is what she's also supposed to represent, would take into account the state of her nation.
But that's the thing. One thing is she doesn't have so much influence in politics, though. She's just
That's
she's
not
just a
politics.
figurative.
That's
Yeah,
not
she's just a
politics.
figurative.
But
That
that's
she
not
cannot get involved. That's the thing.
That's not actually politics.
Yeah. So what can she do?
Make a grand gesture.
No, but I think slightly things still have to go through the queen.
Things should have to go through the king and the queen, but you need to know that the queen have limited powers. So the queen have the prerogative powers, which basically it gets reduced over years. So she has the powers to every act of parliament. She needs to sign it, but it's just ceremonial.
Yes.
Yeah.
If she doesn't sign it, well, they can kick her out.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
She has the
will never
power,
happen.
which will never happen. She has the powers to declare war. She has the powers to do and undo treaties.
But most of these things are
and
ceremonial
stuff like that.
stuff.
All of these things are ceremonial.
Yeah.
So the person who actually have the powers is the prime minister, and this is the person we should be talking about. Which is the person who broke up the rules and everything. So that is the person we should be talking about, not the queen.
Okay, the reason why I would disagree with that is, for instance, we've seen recently Kate and Willie go off to the Caribbean.
Hold on.
Yeah.
No, carry on. You know what, you brought up a great point, because I know your mind.
Yeah,
You
alright.
brought up a great counter,
Yeah. If you see them go and say they're representing the Commonwealth and stuff like that, we're looking at being, I guess you made me lose my train of thought, being something significant of the times that we're living in right now, yeah? You can see how that impacted. I'm gonna have to go again with all of that because you threw me off completely. Right, cool. Where was I? Kate and William, yeah? So they've recently done the Caribbean tour, they've done for the Commonwealth, and the way that went down for them wasn't a great look. I don't know if you followed any of that.
Yeah.
You had a lot of protests against their presence there because a lot of the Caribbean now feel it doesn't make any sense for them to be there. You know, we are striving for independence. Reparations. These are the things that they're not asking the politicians in this country. They're asking the crown. Yeah. Which the Queen currently represents. So for me, as I said, it doesn't have to be something political. If you are still representing the crown, you're still going out of this country and you are ceremonially making all these actions. You could do that with a grand gesture.
Exactly.
You could do the same thing with a grand gesture.
Yeah, it still goes to my point. So what would you expect them to do?
There are other monarchs across Europe that have done grand gestures. They have returned looted goods. Yeah, they have done things that mean something, that make sense. It could be charitable works. It could be during this
But they'll say
period.
they already do that already.
But significantly, to celebrate my Platinum Jubilee, I will be making a significant donation to the homeless and throughout this period of austerity.
But you know why she can't do that?
Why?
Do you know why she can't do that? Because she had to pay off my man's.
Yes, well, the 12 million for Andy's
That's the reason why.
paedophile case, anyway.
That's the reason why she couldn't.
Yeah, 12 million for
there's so
no
many-
longer Prince, is he?
There's so many underlying factors here where I'm like,
Well, even if that's just like a little amount of money, given the fact of like the Queen's wealth. So
Exactly.
that's not even the reason why she cannot do that.
Exactly.
I think it's a
it's
case
not about the
where
money. That's the thing. It's not even about the money.
I think for me, I agree with you to some extent
Yeah.
about like the gesture where they can actually come up with some kind of gesture and things and stuff like that, which that's actually totally correct. But at the same time, it's just a case where rich people are just going to be rich people.
Well,
That's
yes,
stingy.
this we
That's
know,
the thing.
and we know
So,
where we are.
we know where we are.
We know where we are. It's just a matter of discussion.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, salt in the wound.
Yeah.
Right now, a lot of people are going through real hard times.
Hard
though we are enjoying our long weekend or whatever it is,
After the weekend is finished, people will be
yeah.
going to food banks, back to the food banks.
Right. Yeah.
Understand?
So
People are still going to be homeless. People are still not going to be able to pay their water bills and their
Exactly.
rent because everything's rising.
So it feels like a bit of like, spit in the face of all of that.
Yeah.
Just to be lavish celebrations and golden carriages and security up the A because, but anyway.
But anyway,
Well, at least we're having our Guinness Punch and dumplings.
Yeah.
cheers.
Cheers, guys.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. So, guys, we're back. I saw a news clip where they was talking about weave and the bleaching of skin, and I just want to get into that topic and see what your guys' views are on it. Did you see the clip first of all?
Yeah, I think it was, as we were talking about Whitinicious, the lady Marjo,
Yeah.
being on a morning TV program, going up against a black British woman who was wearing weave,
Yeah.
but criticising very much skin bleaching.
Yeah.
Marjo basically shut her down by saying, well, I bleach my skin, you wear weave, what's the difference?
Is there a difference?
From my viewpoint, yes, wholly. I do feel that there are places where the reason behind these things, behind skin bleaching and behind wig wearing, can be similar or the same, but ultimately that skin bleaching is worse than wearing wigs, just because of the range of reasons you could give for either one. I am a prolific wig wearer. And the reason I wear wigs, because I like to look different a lot of the time. Just like to look different. And a lot of my wigs nowadays are natural hairstyles, to be fair, which we have a lot more choice on nowadays as women.
Is that meaning more European than? Because you could get a wig that's Afro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I wear more natural.
It's like, this is like braids.
Yeah, natural looking wigs, natural hairstyles. That's my preference because I want to look as close to my, I guess, African self as I possibly can, but I want to have that variety. I cut my hair short often.
Yeah.
I like to go with my short haircuts, and then I might want a big afro another day, or or braids another day.
What do you think about ladies wearing weave and bleaching their skin?
Yeah, I think it's all about, it boils down to like reasons as to why people are doing that, and I agree that skin lightening, skin bleaching might be a little bit worse than putting on a wig in terms of some people might say that it stems from insecurity, that when people are not so secure, confident in themselves, they tend to put on those things. As she said, people just want different looks.
Don't you think wearing a weave could also be considered insecure?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let's say, for example, they can say if you put on a wig, you might be insecure, but that is the thing, it depends on the person. Why are you putting on a wig? Is it the fact that you want to look more European, or you just want to have different looks? So that is a whole different conversation. But if someone is bleaching their skin, like it's kind of like very limited in terms of like to go back to your original skin, it's not the same as someone can just take off the wig and can have their hair back, their natural hair back, or whatever is different. And I think that is more extreme level, like where people can go, and that's why I say like, oh, there's a difference.
Why do you think that there's a difference in how women bleach their skin? For example, Caribbean and African women tend to bleach their skin more than women who are born here, but they have that descent.
I mean, it could be environmental. It could be down to it being more readily accepted because of more issues of colorism and shadism in those environments. So it's a general consensus that lighter is better. And because everybody within those communities accept that, bleaching is seen as it's okay. We bleach because we want to be lighter. Now, obviously, who wouldn't want to be lighter? Whereas here, that would be more frowned upon. People that do it, and I know some here, they kind of do it secretively.
A lot of people do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you know people, they can't do it secretly.
Yeah,
If you know a person,
Okay, when I say I know of people, it's because I met them this shade and then now this shade. When I say, so it's not because it's not because they've told me or I've seen them doing it. It's because hello, how did this happen? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
But what did you say? Maybe because like the product here, like even people doing it here, so the products are more advanced and the changes kind of goes unnoticed in
Subtle,
the way
more subtly.
it's more subtly as opposed to
What happens?
someone that just use some harsh things and ways.
I can agree with
It's
that.
so drastic. I think that's the difference because a lot of people still do that here.
Yeah.
And to use the argument that no, you cannot get a job or light skin women will get jobs better than dark skinned women. I don't think that. I think it's just bullshit.
Okay, so I'm gonna enter the argument with forget jobs. Let's talk about men for a minute, yeah? Now I know in the Caribbean or West Africa or wherever else, a lot of the bleaching is done by both sexes, yeah?
Yeah.
But I feel like in the UK it's heavily more women that are wearing weaves and bleaching their skin than men, yeah? I pose the argument that is because a lot of men are attracted to exotic looking women. There's like this uniform look nowadays. Yeah.
So you think like people are bleaching?
This light kind of not quite sure where you're from.
Yeah.
Wavy head.
Yeah.
Made up to the nth degree look that is kind of the look that men seem to go for.
Okay.
I don't agree. I think it's a case where it's the same thing like where, let's say for example like the wannabe Instagram models where everything they have this one look like as
Uniform.
a doll. Yeah. Stuff like that.
Uniform
and
look.
they feel that that's the look like that men go for. Some men are into that, but a lot of men are not into that.
Yeah.
So it's a case even with makeup and stuff like that. Some do the thing that are putting on these things and stuff like that attracts. So some people love those things, but not a lot of people are into those things. So I have my colleague, which like one of my colleagues, like she always says this, and she's like, you pick your poison,
And that's our poison.
and that's your poison.
Okay.
Because everyone wants different things.
Absolutely. I
Everyone wants
can agree with
different
that.
things.
But at what
And if you're
point-
trying to please someone, you're doing certain things, you want to attract certain type of people,
Yeah.
then that's what you're going to attract. And
But is this at what point? Do you be like, okay, I'm good? Because some of these bleachers, let's be real. It's like the lips are black, the mouth is black,
and then they got some red tinges on the cheeks and stuff,
like,
and
It's like, at what point do you say like? Because if I had a brethren that was bleaching, I'd be like, yo, sis, fam, this ain't looking good, you know. That's me. This ain't looking good. What are you trying to accomplish right now?
as I said, like
Where's your end goal?
sometimes when they start bleaching and things like that, and it's difficult to stop because they've already got into that mind space. Some people bleach their skin because of like insecurity. Some people feel insecure. Some people are not confident.
I do feel,
and that's the way that it builds confidence in them. I've had conversation. I know people who bleach their skin, both men and women, where they didn't feel handsome or beautiful being in their skin color, and they feel more confident, feel more happy.
So that's due to an ingrained belief again. That's shadism, colorism.
Yeah.
That's an
Where
ingrained
does that-
belief that they feel that being lighter is
Where does it
better.
come from? Yeah.
So this is the thing. You see,
Psychology thing.
It's a psychology thing. You still have, let's say, for example, you have like lighter skin or more Caucasian people as well. They go to have like the tanner skin and stuff like that, and they feel better. They love the skin being darker. So it's a case of like people like different things, but is it okay, or is it morally, in a general perspective, in a general point of view, is it
I
okay?
feel like
It's not.
comparing white people tanning and black people bleaching is just not the same conversation or argument. It's not about preference.
Why is that?
For white people, it's about preference. For white people, it is, I'm tanning. I like to be a little bit brown during the summer. Do you know what I mean? It looks nice on me, yeah?
Yeah.
Whereas with black people, I believe for the great majority, it's a deeper seated issue. Shadism is a thing. Colorism is a thing.
But
What about I can't remember her name. the lady that went through practically half her life pretending to be a black woman.
What, Rachel Dawes? Or
Like, what about
that was afforded like scholarships and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, of course, like it worked for her. Like, she worked for the NAACP.
Yeah.
Like literally, she made being black work for her. She was
Do you agree with that?
What?
That she made black.
Now we're talking about something else. That's transracial. Yeah. But like, do I agree with her making her and not quite sure looking whiteness? Well, I don't know. Like that's her business. I don't know if that's even in the same argument. She didn't particularly tan. She was just
but she was a little bit darker.
She was just like a freckled. She was one of them white women that probably has some black people down in the generations.
Down.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's a freckled white woman that kind of had this look that you couldn't quite say it's not. You're definitely not a black person. So she got away with it. Do you know what I mean? She's done her hair in a certain way that made it even easier.
Yeah.
But I feel like, as I said, those I'm sticking to UK.
Yeah.
The white people here, yeah, that tan. A lot of the Essex lads and lasses, those people that like to look brown most of the time around.
Yeah.
If you ask for their reasoning behind it, there is no question about shadism. There's no question about colorism. They just like to be a bit brown sometimes, yeah?
It's not
There's no history. There's no history behind it. There's no psychology behind it. They just like to be a bit brown. It's not because they want to be black. Like, ask them, do you want to be black? They want to be like, no.
No, but at the same time, they just don't want to be white.
But this is the thing, they don't want to be...
They want to be light.
Yeah,
and to be light
white
has
It's
colorism and
connotations,
shading connotations.
Okay.
Yeah?
I agree with you on that, but at the same time, that's what I'm saying. Some of them, the fact that they're saying that some of like the white people, they don't want to be black, I think that's not correct. There are a lot of them who actually want to have darker skin. There are a lot of white people as well who feel insecure about their skin tone. They might have certain privileges, there's a difference, so they might have certain privileges inherently being white, but it depends on the individual person, like if they are comfortable in their own skin.
But
so
the reason
you can separate those things.
The reason why I'm pushing this conversation is because ask them the question. You just said there's a lot of white people that want to be black. I don't think, like, if you said to them, like, what is the reason you don't feel confident and what makes you feel good about tanning? There's going to be any element about race or shading or anything like coming into the conversation.
I do agree with you.
Yeah?
I can't see any white person really wanting to be
some white people will say, even dating and stuff like that, the fact that they don't fit, because it's a broad spectrum as well. The fact that they don't fit a certain standard of beauty.
Okay, so you're giving me my entrance.
Yeah, the standard. Yeah,
what you're talking about is
the standard of beauty
that's
in the
trend.
No, even before the trends and stuff like that. Even within the white community, there's still some standards of beauty.
Yeah,
things
that
that
are trending at the time.
And so then they feel that even though they are white, they don't like kind of fit in that trend, as you said. But being a bit darker, it actually gives them an upper hand in the trend.
Yeah.
So they feel that, okay, being darker, because they're insecure being that way, being darker, then they have a better chance in the market.
Do you think being lighter gives you a better chance in life?
I feel like historically, yes. Basically, the basis of this whole conversation, where it comes to bleaching and what that means historically to black people, is that you would have better opportunities as a lighter person, a lighter black person, if you could pass even better. And as I said, I'm talking historically. We're talking coming out of slavery into the generations afterwards. That's why shadism and colorism exists. We have been told as a race, you at that lighter end of the spectrum, you can pass, you can maybe slip into and you darker ones not so much. Field slave, house slave, and so on and so forth. Pitting them against each other, and so we've had those traditions. You get to hear about light skin privilege. You get commentary from people like Steph London back in 2013 talking about, you dark skinned girls, you're jealous, you would change your complexion and be light if you could, yeah? And so those conversations are real. There are young girls that do genuinely feel that way.
Well, I think that's what I'm saying, because it goes back to all about being confident. If you look at, let's say, look at people like Naomi Campbell, you look at all the top models. You talk all about the top models, the top models in terms of like even in the modern industry. There are not many they are not light-skinned girls. That's the thing. So you know what? Other than Alex Ricker, they still got.
Wait. No. There's a reason I'm about to say to you. There's a reason. So this is somebody that's been on the fringes of this industry that you're talking about, model. Yeah, in modeling, in the modeling world, it is not about necessarily normal beauty standards. It is about difference. It is about standing out. So that is not really, again, an industry to bring into it, because
I'm saying Alex Ricker, and she has a very unique look to her. She's very black, big lips. Like, a lot of people probably want to see her as a model.
Yes. Or not, they might see her as a model. That's what I'm saying. People that look for scout models, they're looking for like something that's going to catch your eye. You're going to look at that person, you're going to look at what they're wearing, you're going to look at what they're doing, because wow, like, you can't quite put a finger on what it is that is about.
That could be white or black.
All right.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. When people talk about the standard, the standard of beauty and things like that. If you look at these industries, I think, let's say, for example, it's all about, I think for me, historically, we've had these issues. That's not the case. Yeah, we've had those things, but how to remove them from that? This is the way we live in today. We have a lot of opportunities. I'll give an example. Let's say, for example, people tell me when I did law, it's like, oh, how can someone with dreads? Are you going to cut off your dreads? You're not going to have any interviews. You're not going to have any opportunities. You're not going. You look like a roadman. Even my mom said, like, oh, I should cut this. I look like Araba. But these things about being confident and knowing what you want to get. When you're determined, she's talking about the lady where you said like she made black work for her. Confidence strikes. You strike a present. I have opportunities which I didn't need to fit with the normal stereotype. I didn't need to fit to how a lawyer needs to look and things like that. What is here? My confidence when I go out. So that's the thing. You have to build. People have to build those confidence in themselves. And once you have that, whether you're black, even if you're light skinned and stuff like that, you don't have those confidence. Go places.
No, it's actually funny you should say that, because what I'm dressed in right now, and I'm a treasury analyst, I would wear this to work. Don't care about
the thing that you hit upon.
But when I've been to Ghana, and like they will know my job, they're like, but you've got king rolls. How can you have this job with king rolls? And I'm like, huh? Why is my hairstyle with my profession? It just doesn't make any sense to me. You know?
So what you said to me is, it's kind of like, it kind of seals up the conversation, because you're talking about mentality and your mental attitude towards something, and that is the very basis of colorism and shadism within our community. If you have not got the education, if you have not been taught to be proud of what you look like and who you are, and even your fashion decisions.
It doesn't necessarily. It depends on the education you're talking, because some people have degrees, and they don't have sense. No,
I don't mean that kind of education.
Yeah, it's not that kind of education. There's a difference. Being learned and being educated.
It's not. I'm not talking about that school education doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. I'm talking about the mental attitude towards yourself, towards who you are,
and your history and your culture.
Right. So if you haven't been taught those things, which we live in the UK, you know, a great majority. We live in London, so we have a lot of. We're spoiled. We're spoiled a little bit. We have a difficulty understanding other people's mentality towards these things, because a lot of people, British black people, do not live in London, and what they will have grown with and seen, it's not going to instill confidence in them, as you're saying, in who they are and what they look like.
I think we have this responsibility as parents and things like that, like to actually kind of really educate our children, bring that confidence in them. A lot of times, like, black parents can be like, they don't show so much. They'll tell you about like, don't do that or don't do that, but they try to work on the work.
We need to like we need to cut the show because we're coming to the end now. But final views on bleaching and weave. What's your final views?
My final views are that they cannot really be compared. Yeah,
Right.
one has lasting effects, the other one you can remove at the drop of a hat, literally. Right? So for me, they cannot be compared, and I do feel like a lot of black people, their bleaching issues are seated in shadism, colorism issues.
And
Yeah, I agree. I think they cannot be compared, and it depends on like the intentions. If you're bleaching just to look white, or you're bleaching your skin because you just love it. But don't.
Ali, bad man, not just like
We don't nose, I don't need no bleach face, and
we're not, yo. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. We will be back. Thank the ancestors and drink your water.
Hey.